it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are painting a chapter master worthy of legend. Yes, this model is absolutely fantastic. It's amazing. This is Aethon Shaan of the Raven Guard. Absolutely beautiful new model for the Raven Guard. So Raven Guard fans, eat your heart out. I think it's absolutely incredible. Wonderful, wonderful miniature. Cannot wait to jump in and start painting him. And Games Workshop have been very kind. And they've sent him early to me to build up and paint with all of you. So that is exactly what we're going to do now. So he's been primed in Grey Seer. And the colour we're going to be using first, unsurprisingly, is Black Legion. And we're going to be applying this over the top of all of his black power armour. Now, only the black power armour. We're not going to be applying this over the top of the black feathers. We're going to do something slightly different for that. But we are going to apply this over the top of pretty much all of his body, excluding his arms, shoulders, and helmet. But we are going to be including the backpack. Or jump pack. It's not a backpack. It is a jump pack. So with all of that Black Legion applied, whilst we're waiting for it to fully dry, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Kroxigor Scales, and we're going to apply this over the top of the feathers. So with that all done, whilst we're now waiting for the Kroxigor Scales to dry, we're going to take some Nuln Oil. I'm going to apply this over top of all the black power armour. So we're still waiting for that Kroxigor Scales to dry. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a roughly 2 parts Drakenhof Nightshade to 1 part Lahmian Medium mix. And we're going to apply this over top of all the white details. And that is way too much paint at once. There we go. And so with that all done, we're now going to finally take some black Templar, and we're going to apply this over top of the feathers. So with that all done, we're now going to take some Snakebite Leather. And we're going to apply this over top of all of the little bird skulls. Scattered around his feathers. And so with that all done, we're then going to take some Cygor Brown. I'm going to apply this over top of the leather. And so with that all done, we're now going to take some Baal Red. I'm going to apply this over top of his 2 trails. So with that Baal Red all applied, once it's fully dry, we're going to take some Blood Angels Red. And we're going to apply this over the top. So with that all done, we've actually just applied a little bit of Black Legion to that cable on his eyepiece. So I forgot to do it a little while ago. But our next colour is going to be some thinned down Retributor Armour. And we're going to apply this over top of the Raven upon his leg. And so with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors. And we're going to apply this over top of all of our remaining details. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take a little bit of Cygor Brown. And we're going to use this to add just a little bit of shading and blending to the trails. So we're just going to start with Cygor Brown, and we're just going to, at the bottom here, we're just going to apply this like that. Then we're going to wash the brush, touch off the water, then we're just going to blend it into the red. So with that all done, we're then going to take some Reikland Fleshshade, and we're going to apply this over top of the gold. And with that Reikland Fleshshade applied, we then take some Nuln Oil. And we're going to use this to shade all the silver. So with that all done, Aethon Shaan is now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready, and he's looking pretty good. However, we're not going to leave him there, of course not. No, we're going to take him to the next level. I'm going to do this by adding some highlights. Now, first of these is going to be some thinned down Dawnstone, and we're going to be using this to highlight all of the black armor. So with all that Dawnstone applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Administratum Grey. And we're going to use this to add some spot highlights to the sharpest corners in all of that black. So with that all done, we're going to take a little break from highlighting black details, i.e. the feathers for now. This is what we're going to do next. Instead, is we are actually going to take some thinned down Corax White. And we're going to use this to relayer the white armor details. So with that Corax White all applied, we're then going to take some thinned down white scar. I'm going to use this to highlight all of that white. So with that all done, it is now time to work on those feathers. And what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Russ Grey. I'm going to use this to highlight them. So with all of that Russ Grey applied to all of the feathers, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Fenrisian Grey. I'm going to use this just to add some little spot highlights to the tips of these feathers. So with that all done, we're then going to take some thinned down Screaming Skull. We're going to use this to highlight the little bird trophies. So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Evil Sunz Scarlet. I'm going to use this to highlight the red. So with that all done, we're now going to do some freehand. This is entirely optional, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Morghast Bone. I'm going to use this to paint in the runes going up those two trails. So we're just going to start down here, and I'd recommend having the box art in front of you for this bit. But just take your time and make your way up the trails. You only need to do it on the front as well. So with those runes all applied, we're now going to take some thinned down Ironbreaker. I'm going to use this to highlight all the silver. With all that Ironbreaker now applied, we're now going to take some thinned down Templar Blue. I'm going to use this to draw in some little lightning on all of the lightning claw blades. With that Templar Blue applied, we then take a tiny amount of Baharroth Blue. I'm going to use this to highlight the lightning. And with that Baharroth Blue applied, we then take a tiny amount of some thinned down Corax White. And we use this to add some little spot highlights to that lightning. So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Liberator Gold. I'm going to use this to highlight the gold. With that Liberator Gold all applied, we then take some Blood Angel's Red. I'm going to apply this over top of his, well, his eyepiece and his eye lens. Finally, to finish off Aethon Shaan, we're going to take a tiny amount of Fire Dragon Bright. I'm going to use this to add a little highlight to his eye lens. Just going across the middle. So with Aethon Shaan now all finished, we are going to very quickly work on the base. And there's a couple of things that are repeated here, like the metallics and the wings of the little things, but we are going to just kind of quickly go through all of it. So what we're going to do is we'll start with the big rock, and the colour we're going to be using first for this is Targor Rageshade. We're going to be applying this over top of the big rock. Whilst we're waiting for that Targor Rageshade to dry, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Black Legion. I'm going to apply this over top of the kind of, well, it's almost like the metallic, not metallic, the mechanical frames of these little flying doodads. With that Black Legion all applied, we're then going to once again take some Snakebite Leather. I'm going to apply this over top of the little skulls. And with that all done, we then take some Drakenhof Nightshade. We don't need to thin it down this time, but we're going to use this over top of the wings. And so with that all done, we then take some Skeleton Horde. And we're going to apply this over top of the parchments. And so with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors. I'm going to apply this over top of all the remaining details. So with that all done, we're now going to take some Agrax Earthshade. And we're going to apply this over top of the rock and the silver on the base. And so with that all done, we then take some Cygor Brown. And we're going to apply this over the top of the base of the trails. And then we're going to do blending like we did on the red ones. So we're going to apply the Cygor Brown like so, up to around about there. Wash the brush. Touch off the water. And we smooth out the transition like that. And with that all done, we're then going to once again use Cygor Brown. Only this time what we're going to do here is we're going to use this to add some little text going along these trails. And after that, the model's basically finished. We've got some highlights to do, which are the same as the ones we've done on Aethon Shaan, so we're not going to film them again. But realistically, he's all done. We do, of course, have all the negative space as well. Which we're going to do in our typical style with some sterling mud and a dry brush of Tyrant Skull. And here we have it, the Master of Shadows, the Raven Guard Chapter Master. Aethon Shaan is now finished. I think it's absolutely spectacular miniature. It might be one of the best Space Marine models ever made. And it just makes Shrike look a little bit sad. Because he's just so beautiful. I mean, look at it. What a wonderful miniature and so much fun to paint. I think I've outdone myself here because I'm very, very proud of this one. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/warhipster, just like all of these wonderful, amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done, scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.